Second. Okay. So any comfortable place here for you on the earth. If you feel any discomfort on your or in your low back, you can always bring a rolled up blanket or a couple of blocks to place underneath the knees. And so let's take a moment here to just connect with where we have landed today. So if it's comfortable for you, I invite you to bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your diaphragm. And noticing the sensation of your breath. Perhaps notice where it flows and maybe if it catches somewhere. Can you slow down your breath just a little bit? Breathing in through the nose, into the diaphragm. Long, slow exhales out. Notice what you feel in your body. We're just establishing a place that we are starting. We're not judging anything. We're not looking to see what's good or bad, right or wrong. And then from here, I invite you to find Ujjayi breath, which is our ocean sounding breath. So in our Ujjayi breath, it's kind of like we're fogging up a mirror or a window or whatever it may be. So imagine that as you exhale, you can always do it with your mouth open to begin. As you exhale, it's like fogging up that mirror. And feel the constriction at the back of your throat. And then see if you can find that constriction also on your inhale. And try and breathe in and out through the nose, but find that constriction here. So our Ujjayi breath is our ocean sounding breath. And our class today is based on water. So water and non-doing. When we cease to try to fix the world fixes itself. So non-doing or non-action is expressed eloquently in nature by water. When water flows and meets a rock, it flows around it. When you put water into a container, it takes the shape of the container. Water does not resist, but over time it gains strength and can transform. When we seek the path of least resistance, put down our struggles and striving, nature guides us in the right direction. Like water and rock, the rock, your obstacles will change and soften over time. So during our class, if it feels comfortable for you, maintaining that ujjayi breath, this breath can help us settle, slow down, and let's find 2 more rounds of breath. And making some small movements in fingers and toes. Right. I think first, I've totally just changed my plans on what we're going to do. I think first we're going to find a banana shape on the earth. So you don't need any props for this. You just need to stay on the earth in your banana shape. We're going to reach the legs out long, arms come up and back behind us, fingernails to the earth, and then the hips stay on the earth. We shift the head, shoulders, and arms over. We'll start with the right side to the right side. And then maybe you shift the legs over towards the right side as well. Okay, if this feels like too much in one of your shoulders, feel free to bring that shoulder back down by your side, or that arm, sorry. Okay, you also have the option if maybe the left shoulder is coming up off the earth, finding your blanket and placing it underneath the shoulder so that you're bringing the earth up a little closer. So from our C shape here, if you wish to come a little bit further, if both arms are overhead, maybe the right hand grabs the left wrist, pull a little bit more. And if both hips are able to remain on the earth, maybe the left ankle crosses over the right ankle. Once you find a nice stretch here, soften and release your body. Release any tension. And stay with the flow of your breath. So one thing water does is it cleanses. As you breathe in, imagine water moving up and over your body. And as you exhale, imagine the water washing away. As that water moves up and over your body, imagine it's cleansing you of anything you no longer need. And as you exhale, watch it get pulled away into the ocean, away. I'm going to stay here for about another half a minute. Stay with your breath. And then when you're ready, uncrossing the legs, bringing the arms and legs back to center. Perhaps drawing your arms down by your sides and just take a moment to notice the difference. Notice what you feel on the right side and on the left. All right, let's find that C shape or banana shape on the other side. So perhaps the arms reach up and back behind you, fingernails to the earth. Soften the shoulders. We'll allow the arms, shoulders, and head to come to the left side. Perhaps the legs slide over to the left side. Maybe left hand grabs the right wrist. And maybe the right ankle crosses over the left. Find the variation again on this side that feels good for you. Water cleanses. As water passes through its channels, it takes out the old and makes way for the new. So about another half a minute here on this side. And whenever you feel ready, allowing the legs and arms to come back to center. And bring the arms down by your side. Notice any sensations that are making themselves noticed. Okay, and from here, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. Gently making your way up to seated. Our first pose is with a blanket. So we're gonna take our blanket and we're gonna roll it long, and we're gonna be lying down on top of the blanket. So the way it's going to look is the blanket's going to come, what's this called? Making like a T shape here with the mat and the blanket. Horizontal. All right, so you'll notice when you come down, if it's too thick, you may have to unroll the blanket a little bit. Okay, so we don't want too thick of a roll. So we're gonna come down onto, let's do this, actually bringing your blocks with you. So we'll place one block on one side and the other block on the other side. So just so you can reach them when you come down. And then I'll give you options with your legs. So whatever is gonna feel the best. So when you come down onto your roll, you wanna make sure that the roll goes beneath the shoulder blades. So not like on the shoulder blades, but below there. Enough so that if you bring your arms out to the side in a T shape, your arms would be able to come out. All right, you don't have to keep your arms in the T shape here. You could always move your roll a little bit to bring the arms down by your side, palms face up, if that's more comfortable for you. Maybe what you need is cactus arms or goalpost arms. Or maybe what you need is arms up overhead, once again, fingernails to the earth. This might feel like a lot at first. Take a few rounds of breath here to kind of settle into it. And then options for your legs. So maybe knees together, feet wide on the mat, kind of like a constructive rest pose. Maybe you find a reclined butterfly or reclined bound angle. So walking the soles of the feet towards each other, knees apart, we grab our blocks and place them either where the hip meets the thigh or underneath the knees. And one more option, legs can come out long. So try and find a few rounds of breath here. With every exhale, soften. And after about 3 to 5 rounds of breath, if it still is not feeling comfortable in the back, maybe you need to unroll the blanket a little bit. Connecting to the breath once again. Water reflects. In still water, we can see our reflection. Water is dynamic and flows. We must flow through our life to avoid stagnation. Water nourishes and lubricates. Without water, we dry and perish. Is there any way you can bring these qualities of water into your life? Water cleanses, water reflects, water is dynamic and flows. Water nourishes and lubricates. remember you are not stuck in any pose. If you need to make adjustments or you wish to come out early, feel free to do so. As you inhale, imagine the water washing up and over you. And as you exhale, imagine it drawing away anything you no longer need. Right. Whenever you are ready, making some small movements in fingers and toes. Maybe you draw the knees towards each other if you're in a reclined butterfly, or maybe you straighten the legs. Whenever you are ready, rolling over to one side and then gently making your way up to seated. Our next shape is a supported bridge. So you can use either a folded blanket for, a little bit less of uh, moving into this pose. Can't find my words today. Or you can use a block or a bolster. Since you have a bolster too, the bolster will give you the most. Maybe it's a couple pillows, whatever you have lying around. So we're going to come down onto the earth. We're going to bring our prop next to us. Whenever you are ready, knees are bent, feet are about hip distance apart, pushing your feet into the earth to lift your hips and sliding your prop underneath you. Gently bringing the hips down. Where we want the prop is not in the low back, but just below there. All right, so options. Arms can come wherever is comfortable. Again, the same options as before, by the side, maybe T-shape, maybe cactus arms, or maybe arms are up overhead. So the arms up overhead allows for more air to move into the rib cage, if that's where you are breathing today. All right, and then the legs, it could be knees together, feet apart. Or if you wish for a bit of a stretch here along the front of the body, front of the hip, maybe you extend one leg out long, or maybe both. And I will let you know when we are about halfway through. So if you just want to come to one side, or you want to maybe try a different variation of bridge pose, you'll know when we're halfway there. All right, so again, notice the breath. Before we come into this, a little too far, if you need to come out, once again, you place your feet on the earth, push the hips up towards the sky, and then remove the block, the prop from underneath you. Okay. softening here. And I like to share a quote by Rumi. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Water unifies. We are one drop in the ocean of life. Remember, you are a part of the whole. Power is gained from collaboration and support from the collective whole. Allowing your inhale and exhale to be smooth and even. Keep a steady tempo, just you and your breath. And we are halfway through if you wish to make any changes or adjustments. If your mind starts to wander, come back to your breath. And whenever you are ready, drawing your arms back down by your sides, placing your feet on the earth with bent knees. Once your feet are back on the earth, pushing your feet down, lifting your hips, slowly removing the props from under you and allowing your hips to come back down. So no sudden movements. See if you can allow your low back to settle. Take a few rounds of breath. And then if it doesn't feel like it has settled, maybe walking the feet mat distance apart and windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Whenever you're ready, rolling over to one side and then making your way up to seated. Okay, so a twist. I'm going to invite you to find the variation of this twist that feels the best for you. I'll give you a couple of different options here. It just depends on your body. So our first twist, we will come down onto the floor and placing maybe it's blocks and a blanket over towards the right side, maybe a bolster or pillows if you have that nearby. All right, so first variation is props are on the right side. And we come down to the floor, feet are on the earth. We shift the hips away from the props, place the hips down and allow the knees to drop over onto the props. Arms come out to the side, palms face up. All right, so that's one option. Another option here is a little bit deeper twist. So we extend the right leg long. We hug the left knee in, and then we draw the left knee over onto our props. Try and anchor the left shoulder down. So if at any point you have that left shoulder popping up and it's not coming down to the earth, feel free to grab maybe a folded blanket or something to place, or whatever you have nearby to place underneath that shoulder. Okay, so you have two options. Finding the one that feels best for you. If you feel like that left knee is up off your prop and it feels like it's strained, maybe you adjust your props or fold the blanket so that there's a little bit of extra padding underneath the knee. If it feels like if you're in the other twist, it feels like the knees are uncomfortable together, maybe you place something between the knees for padding. With every exhale, soften and release. Water is flexible. It takes the shape of its container. For us to grow and evolve, we must learn to mold with what life is presenting. Water is patient and persistent. It finds the path of least resistance. And water stays true. Water to ice, ice to water. It comes back to its true self. Finding one more round of breath. And then slowly rolling over onto your back. Repositioning your back flat on the earth. And however it feels best for you, you're going to move your props over to the left side of your body. All right. And then we're going to find that twist on the other side. Find the one that works for you on this side. It might look different from the first side. That's totally okay. All right. So maybe it's shifting the hips away from the blocks and allowing the knees to drop onto the blocks, keeping both shoulders down. Or maybe this time you extend the left leg long, hugging the right knee in towards the chest and then drawing the knee over onto your props. See if you can soften the right shoulder down towards the earth. Make any adjustments you need here. Find comfort in this shape. as water dances through our limbs, as it flows, moves, and morphs. It reminds us that flow is our natural state, moving the body in rhythm, going with the flow, and learning to let go our ways to honor the water element within. We always have a choice to swim against the tide, to cling on to the bank, or to float in synchronicity with our life. To go with the flow of our life means to accept your life is as, to accept your life as it is unfolding. I accept that I can't read today. It doesn't mean that we don't have daily annoyances and in situations that we resist. It's just that we become better at identifying the places that are gritty and stuck. We examine these places with curiosity. We may find a teaching or a gift there. Is it possible that the places you are most stuck are the places where you have the most valuable lessons? Is it possible that where you don't want to flow is where you need to go? Some days your life will seem like a riptide where you are dragged up and down through choppy waters. Other days it will be gentle on a clear blue day where you float seamlessly through life. Be open to them all. Go with the flow. Finding one more round of breath. And slowly rolling over onto your back body. From here, finding any shape on the earth that feels best for you, whatever will help you to sink, settle, and relax. Perhaps you return to that ujjayi breath, ocean sounding breath, or maybe you return to that feeling of the water washing over you, cleansing you, and then flowing away. Allowing your body to sink and settle. Allowing your breath to flow like water. And a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh: "The wave does not need to die to become water. She already is water." tidal wave takes away what is not needed on the outgoing tide and refreshes on the incoming. What old ideas or ways of being would you like to flush out? Being stuck in any way, be it an idea, a habit, or relationship, will bring disharmony to your heart, mind, and body and create stagnation. Are there any areas of your life where you feel stuck? Maybe it's a job or relationship. There may be a feeling of stagnation. What would it take to hydrate these places? Do you consider yourself flexible? Are you willing to take on what life is presenting you rather than pushing it away? Resilience is a strength. Only hard, brittle branches break. Soft and supple ones sway and bend. And for the next few minutes, there's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to change. Practice non doing and non action here. And slowly bringing your awareness back into your space. Connecting once again to your breath. And just check in again. If you wish, placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your diaphragm. And notice. Notice what you feel in your body. Notice what you feel in your breath. Maybe even notice what's going on in the mind. And see if anything has changed. Whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated. Once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Connecting to the breath one last time. Feeling the flow of your breath, just like the flow of water. I honor this space that we are in that has allowed us to gather here together. I honor all of the yogis from India and all of the teachers around the world who have brought us this beautiful practice of yoga. And I honor you for sharing your practice with me and with each other. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful evening.